The Night Gallery. Talk about a home run for opening segment. And Rod Serling's such a badass, doesn't even talk about it afterwards. Next.
Yeah, we were expecting like a Beyond Belief type
Yeah,
wrap up, or
yeah.
even Twilight Zone type wrap up, but
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
he was be like, all right, number 2.
Next.
Now this was, a 90-minute movie, 3 different segments, so I guess he had to keep it moving along. Let's jump into number 2. Know nothing about this either, obviously, so we're gonna get started.
A blind queen who reigns in a carpeted penthouse on Fifth Avenue. This is her story.
All right, taking place in the city, changing up the setting.
It's New York. What is this?
It's gotta be Manhattan, New York City. This is gonna be a dumb statement.
Really? Wow.
Say, that's a very good likeness. Not really, Doctor. There was one thing I couldn't capture.
What's that?
Her cruelty.
Damn.
I used to wonder what kind of woman built an apartment house on Fifth Avenue and then installed herself as the only tenant.
Wow.
She's the only one who lives in this building?
Interesting establishment for her. Also a theme of paintings.
Like this shot, yeah. I wonder, is every episode going to have a theme of paintings?
That was awesome.
All right, still. I was going to make a joke. Like, all right, Spielberg, but this literally is Spielberg.
I saw your painting. I think the artist has done you justice.
No one has ever done me justice. Beginning with God.
Miss Menlo, you need a donor. Someone who'd be willing to part with his sight for the rest of his life to give you roughly 12 hours of it.
My lawyer has found such a person for me. The man needs the money desperately. He's agreed to become the donor and part with his eyes for a sum of cash.
So someone donated their eyes? Just a living person? And they just took their eyes? I guess for money?
How much cash?
$9,000.
Yeah, I'm going to need much more than that.
Yeah.
What's the inflation on that?
In this envelope, I have a complete file on one Dr. Frank Heatherton.
Ah, blackmail.
All there, I believe. Do you recall the young woman?
Nice reveal shot, not moving the camera, but moving him.
I couldn't care less about your extracurricular activities. My abiding concern, Doctor, and my singular preoccupation is myself.
Yeah.
I want to see something. Trees, concrete, buildings, grass, airplanes, color!
That was greatly effective with cuts.
Yeah, some unique editing there.
A man will deliver up his eyes, thanks to me. I just hope the poor realizes how much he sold for so little.
Yeah, for so little, it's like, how much would you need to sell your eyes,
To
man?
be as rich as her afterwards. Like, let's just trade places. Like, I need to be set for life, obviously.
Yeah, at least like 40, 50 bucks.
You owe $9,000, and you voted for 2 wrong.
I'm gonna get the $9,000 tomorrow.
Ah, it's because he owes money.
He doesn't have no eyes, and then he doesn't even have the money because he owes the money.
Ooh, two shot.
Supposed to have a meeting about it tomorrow afternoon with...
Those shots always trip me out because him in the background obviously should be out of focus, but he's in focus. So weird.
It's been nice having this little chat with you.
Oh, they did it again.
It's very interesting thus far in the first segment and this one. It's like a lot of what seems like ADR, but it's not noticeable. Like, it seems to match what they're saying and like their mouth movements.
You think it's ADR?
I mean, the audio just sounds so clear. How could they get it that clear if it wasn't, you know?
I don't know.
Especially in these outdoor environments.
Hey,
Interesting.
it's the laugh. I swear it's the laugh. You gotta be a Philadelphia lawyer to read this thing.
On the bottom line, Mr. Resnick, just above the word donor.
Just go ahead and sign it.
Don't know her.
What am I giving and what are you getting?
So you not know?
Donating your eyes, specifically the central optic nerve.
Here, you take the eyes outside. They take the body.
Here you are, Mr. Resnick.
My son, the donor, huh?
My son, the donor.
What's it gonna be like when it's midnight all the time and nobody's paid the electric bill, huh? So what do I do?
With an extra $500 thrown in by the doctor and myself.
I guess, yeah, at least he gets to keep 500.
You live off 500 for the rest of your life, and this time?
I hope I don't meet a bookie on the way. I'm a sucker for a game of chance. Honest, it's a fact. Anything at all. I'll lay you 5-1 that 24 hours after you make me blind, I'm gonna want to cut my throat.
Oh,
Jesus, bro.
And I'll lay you even money I do it.
this guy, like, unnecessarily good actor. Like, it's just like this small part, you know?
Necessarily good.
You know what I mean? Like, he could have just been fine. But it's like, it's just, why is he so good?
I hope that my efforts have made it possible.
For both our sakes, I hope they have.
Ooh. You ain't off the hook yet.
It occurs to me that I've never seen your face.
Oh, you can't miss me, Miss Menlo. I'll be the tall man with the sick eyes, the one with the ache in his gut. You can't miss me, Miss Menlo.
It's gonna be too bright.
Thank you. No! No! Atherton! I'll destroy you!
Wait.
What is going on?
Did she jump out the window? And she's dead right now?
What's going on? What's happening?
Blackout. No power, no nothing.
Oh! Oh!
Then get out of the city if you can.
How long's it gonna last?
Ask the mayor. Come on, get moving.
Oh, so she can't see. Oh! Then she fell asleep during the 12 hours that was set to work.
I can see.
Oh, she just ran into the window?
That's color. Oh, God, it's...
Oh, she's gonna stare into the sun and burn it out?
It's going away.
That's not fair! It's simply not fair!
I want it. I want the sun.
Well, there you go.
Well, it's partially right.
Yeah, she did eventually fall out the window.
And now the final
Next.
take.
All right. Well, a few things I want to say from my research. Getting into this, I did know that Steven Spielberg directed one of these.
Oh, wow.
And this was actually the first thing he ever professionally directed.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So I did know that. I'll let you go first as far as what you thought about it.
Yeah, I think I like the first one more, but I do like this one a lot. Extremely cinematic. What a debut for young little Stevie Spielberg. I was going to make a joke. It's like, oh, look at all this camera work. Look at Spielberg over here. Because, that's one of those terms that people say, oh, look at Scorsese. Look at Spielberg. I was like, oh my God, this actually is Spielberg.
Yeah.
It's his kid Spielberg here. No, but just stellar performances from the cast. I mean, you pointed out the guy who gave up his eyes, and the best part was he wasn't even in the rest of the show. Like, we don't even know. Like,
Yeah, no resolution with them.
no, did he get the money? Did he send it to him? It's like, was he able to live, or like he just gave his entire story all in his little jabs he was making about himself, and like, God, what a guy. The doctor, that whole thing, that guy's performance, the blackmail, how horrible that was, and I just love it. It's such like a Twilight. That was like such like a Twilight Zone episode where it's like, oh my God, she still can't see, and it gave me like a terrifying idea of what it's like to probably be blind, where it's like you're just like feeling around nothing and seeing her in frame. There, I'm like, oh, this is an interesting choice of filmmaking. Like, oh, this is what it's like to be blind, but it's like no, she actually could see. It's just all the lights are out. But you'd think even with all the lights out, she'd be able to look out her window and see something.
Yeah,
But that's all right.
That's what I was going to say, is that you kind of have to just buy into the premise, because obviously neither of us know what it's like to be blind. But from what I've heard, it's not seeing black, it's just the absence of seeing anything. And if being blind her whole life, if there was just a power blackout, like there would be some type of natural lighting to where she would see something.
Yeah.
Even though your eyes have to adjust, like she would see something beyond what she saw when she was blind. But put that aside for the sake of the story. I liked it too. Definitely liked the first one a bit more. But this one was really strong. Just the whole concept, very original. I did a quick inflation calculator, and $9,000 in 1969 would be about 77,000 today.
Wow.
Still not enough for me to give up my sight, but but the guy owed money, so it was
He owed all 9,000.
Yeah, it made a little bit more sense.
What's $500 in today money?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you divide that, I guess a few thousand, but yeah. He was my favorite part, honestly. I mean, that guy was just like randomly so good, and just everything he said was like, ooh, like gave you goosebumps a little bit about all the stuff that he said. The doctor character, his actor was also good. So yeah, a lot of good. I'm surprised with the premise that it had. It really like took its time to get there. I thought it was going to be like, 5 to 10 minute exposition of this procedure, and then the episode is the procedure. But no, that's really only the climax of it. The most of the story is just getting there to it. So yeah, did really enjoy it.
I think he was saying, you got to slowly like ease your way to light. You know what I mean? Like, be careful not to, spike it too fast because it could like mess it up. And I don't know if it was intentional or I don't know if she wanted that light on. Oh, turn on the hallway light, and he flips the light, and it's the light in there, and it's like, it's like, oh shit, that's gonna blind her. And then she takes it off, and she sees the light in the crystal, and I thought that's what caused her to be blind. Like, but no, it's just a power outage.
I think that's what it was supposed to like lead us to believe.
Yeah.
And then
I love that.
And then the great reveal of the power outage.
And I thought all the traffic was because she fell out the window, because it didn't really lead. She was kind of like putzing around. I'm like, she fell out the window, and like all the traffic stopped. I'm like, she fell out the window, and it's like, nope, power outage. It's like, it keeps egging, like, what is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I loved in the moment after the lights went out when she's like walking around. I'm thinking like, this is a really interesting portrayal of seeing the perspective of a blind person. But no, it's literally her in the dark.
yeah.
So I love that. If Rod Serling truly wrote all of this, good on him. I don't know if there were other writers for these different segments, but this was the only writing credit up top. So great writing. It definitely was a highlight of both of these. And yeah, really enjoying it. There was a little bit of worry in the sense that like, this is coming right off the Twilight Zone. Rod Serling's now going to do his own thing. Like, is it just going to be this cheap? And granted, we've only seen 2 segments, and I'm sure they started strong purposefully in the pilot. But it's like, no, it's very strong. Like, it was up there for sure in terms of quality with some of the best Twilight Zone segments.
And great feeling. Like, he's a bit older. You see him in color. He's got a little gray in his hair, but that voice is still like so classic and just like calmly just guides you into this world. And I love the whole like lifts up the thing to see the painting, but you don't see the painting. It just fades into the shot of the city or the shot of the mansion. It makes me feel warm. It's spooky season, baby.
Yeah, and we've been doing this a little over a month now, and I feel like it's been really fun to jump around and find stuff like this, like the Night Stalker, revisit some of our favorite stuff that we've talked about, and then also watch some stuff that we weren't really into, and that's what I'm really excited to continue and just like jump all around the genre, because as much as I love horror, and I know you love it too, there's like just still so much of it out there that I've never even come close to encountering in terms of subgenres and the different types of things. But specifically, even with TV anthology horror, there's so much still that we haven't checked out. So I'm really excited. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, me too. Me too.